Welcome along to TGP2. It's the final race week, which means we will be crowning a TGP2 champion. Will it be Jack Craig? Will it be Chris Johnson or Jordan? Maybe even Alistair, but it's a bit of a push for him. There's also a constructor fight going on with the McLarens and Alfa Romeos. We have USA, Brazil and Abu Dhabi to round off the spectacular TGP2 season. Who is going to get pole in the first race of the night? Jordan and Alistair all battling away. Stream starting a bit late this time. Technical issues due to PlayStation, but hopefully it should all be up and running now. I do believe it might be Alistair on pole here. He's been looking quick here in the sweat sessions. Takes pole position at 1:32.4, 2/10 clear off Jordan in second. So just to start, he needed to pull himself back into it. Chris Johnson out qualifying Jack as well, so was Jordan, so that's good for them. I'm in a party with a few of the drivers, so you'll be able to hear some of their comments. But we have some title fight happening tonight. 2.5 tenths is the gap then between Alistair and Jordan. So the championship leader down in 5th, 1.2 seconds off the pace, whether he made a mistake or is just lacking the pace. But Dom Smith is here, which means I will get my updates on Snapchat to tell me how everything is looking, because I'm too lazy to add it all up myself. I don't have the IQ anyway to do it. So there then is the grid for the United States Grand Prix. Obviously 25% races in TGP2. 3 races a night. We'll be going back to its normal 18-minute qualifying and 2 races a night when it returns, and I believe is March. So the final drivers then making their final changes. Can't change much obviously with Parc Fermé on. You can change a few things, front wing and brake bias. Liverpool have scored. Bobby Firmino, that's good.
Yes.
Club World Cup final, here we go. Bobby Firmino coming off the bench to score. But Jordan had 17 points behind Jack Craig. Chris Johnson is a race win behind him, 25. Then Alistair is 48 behind. He really needs to get some points to pull himself back into it. But the lights are on now for the American Grand Prix. And we are racing in Texas. Alistair from pole, Jordan secondly, Offner third. It's a decent start from the Alfa Romeos. A decent start from both Alfa Romeos. There's a Ferrari looking up the inside there, but Alistair leading into turn 1. So doing exactly what he needed to do. A few cars off into the background, but Alistair leading, swooping down the hill in the early stages of this Grand Prix. Now into the difficult S section, a bit like Maggots and Beckett's at Silverstone. But there's no gravel and grass to really save you. There's a car off into the background. Not sure who that was. We'll surely see a car dropping down the order. Might have been Red Bull Kim. Still yellow flag in sector 1 and 2, but it is Alistair leading then from Jordan, from Hoffner, from Chris and from Jack, who's not gained any positions on the opening lap. But he won't be in a massive hurry to do this. He has a bit of a buffer. Doesn't need to risk anything. You don't want to throw it all away.
Oh.
I do believe it was Kim off into the background. Baza, I believe, has got past Dominic. Not sure what happened there. But here comes Lee Hoffner now on Jordan. Thinks better of it, or does he? No, he's... Oh, I'm not sure what he was trying there. He sort of backed out of it, then went for it again, and backed out of it again. Something in the background. Dom and Baza. 3 wide. There's a Williams there. Smoky J's on the mediums. Baza then trying the old switcheroo on Dom, side by side. Dominic then holding off Baza, but he's gone wide. That's not what he would have wanted, and Baza retakes it. Fantastic racing from these two, but Dom has the inside. Takes a bit of the Max Verstappen line there. Dominic Smith very naughty. But Baza then down into P8, and Dom Smith holding him off. Alistair with a 1.5 second gap already at the start of this Grand Prix, doing what he needs to do. He can't do anything else. It's not in his hands, but it is in Jack Craig's hands, and he is now putting pressure on Chris Johnson. But he's got to watch out for Dexter as well. He's shown some pace over this season. More inconsistent though than quick.
Still side by side of Barry. Something for 2 laps.
They are still by side ending in the S section. You've got to be careful there. You've got Smokey Jays and Kong Hoffner up behind. Mick Schumacher, or Marco, has gone round in the Renault. He's lost the front wing, so not what he wanted at all. But Dom Smith still over the back of F1 Baz, and it's great for Dom Smith to be able to join us. I believe, are you racing on the new internet, or is it still the old one?
I'm racing on new internet, so let's see how this goes.
So Dominic Smith finally, Roger Telecoms has answered Dominic's prayers and has finally made the move to better internet, so we should see, hopefully, Dom finding some form and not just disconnecting all the time. But anyway, Chris Johnson is now on the back of Lee Hoffner. So the constructors at the moment, McLaren are leading it. That's Chris and Jordan, 418 points, but Alfa Romeo only 6 behind on 412. Racing Point are out of it, some 200 off those two. So again, the championship fight, it's got 2 McLarens in it and 2 Alphas in it, and so does the constructors. So it's only between McLaren and Alfa. See what those two can do. It's going to be some final night in TGP. We've had some crackers this season. Dom Smith then. DRS is now being enabled with Dom. Dropping back a bit from F1 Baz. He's under pressure a bit now from Smokey James, who's shown some decent pace in TGP2. Bit aggressive, but usually gets the job done, especially when it's on the harder compound. And here he goes now on Dom. Pulls to the inside, gets the car slowed down nice and easy. And the Williams has passed the Ferrari. And Dom down into P9. He's under pressure now from Kong Hoffner. He had a wonderful time in No Pain No Rain, I heard. The Christmas event at TGP hold, and he's actually got found his way past Dominic, who has made a mistake. Marco is into the pit lane to change his front wing. But Alison with a 1.4 second gap out in front. The Alfa Romeo in control at the moment. Followed by Jordan, then Lee Hoffner, then Chris, then Jack, and then Dexter and Baz are 6th and 7th. Smokey is 8th with Kong Hoffner 9th. Dominic dropping down the order into 10th after a promising start for him. He's now under pressure from Erlenine, the man from Singapore, I believe. And Marco's round again at the S section, but this time keeps it out of the wall. So Renault will not need to keep fixing that front wing by the looks of it. Liverpool are through to the Club World Cup final. Good stuff. Yes. Bobby Firmino with a winning goal there. But also then 1.4 seconds out in front, doing very well. Chris Johnson, and can he get any closer to Lee Hoffner?
Great battle for Kong Hoffner as well.
Kong Hoffner now on the back of Smokey, who's on the back of F1 Baz. That's why you have Dom Smith to point out these battles. Not lagging about, so it probably is actually happening on his screen.
Oh.
Smokey on Baz, and as he go for it, thinks better off it. Kong Hoffner, oh, I think he actually hit Smokey Jays there. Kong Hoffner on the softer tyre. So you can see there are the compounds. So you've got the top 7 all in the soft, medium compound tyre, and Smokey's the highest runner on a different compound, which is the medium. Then it's soft, soft, medium, hard, medium. So Marco will be going to the end on that harder tyre. Erlenine all over the back of Dom, and Kong Hoffner's all over the back of Smokey Jays. Can he find his way past? Is on the faster rubber, but it will start to be fading away now. Obviously in a 25% race, it's scaled to 25%, so those tyres will start to be going off soon. He's got the DRS now on Smokey J. Seems to have a bit more straight line speed than the Williams. Can't do anything about it. Thinks better off it. Can Erlenine find his way past Dom into the braking zone? No, he can't. He stays further behind. Chris Johnson is now onto the back of Lee Hoffner for 3rd. So now, can he find a way past the Red Bull? Lee Hoffner then has shown some quick pace in the last couple of races. Yellow flag into sector 1 and 2. Not quite sure who that is for.
Marco again.
Probably is Marco. It is. Oh, I think it was actually Kim. No, it's going around turn 1. Marco, I believe, has damage. Kong Hoffner is the first person to come in for a legitimate pit stop. Lee Hoffner now pressuring, being pressured by Chris, who's been pressured by the championship leader in Jack. The top 2 getting away a bit from this. They're not too far up the road, but they would definitely be appreciating the gap they have at the moment. Virgil van Dijk tweeting, "Si senor," he knows what it's all about. but it is the title fight in TGB2, so we'll focus on that for now. Jordan now is starting to catch Alistair a bit. Maybe Alistair starting to save the bit of the battery. Doesn't need to use it at this moment in time. He's not under a lot of pressure. He'll flag in sector 2. Shribble Kim getting out of the way as he drops a lap down. Chris Johnson then gaining now on Lee Hoffner. Goes for the inside, late on the brakes from the McLaren.
Nice.
And is in. Oh, Lee Hoffner. Oh, they've come together. Oh. F1's contact system not great there. What was that?
Chris had to make the move if he wants to gain points on Jack Craig.
And Jack's followed him through as well. But Lee Hoffner is now going to have a run on Jack. They're going to go side by side, and Jack finds a way past the Red Bull. 2 positions lost in 3 corners for Lee Hoffner, and Jack then is into 4. So that's what he would have wanted. Jordan is now within DRS of the race leader. I don't think he's got it on this time around. Jack is into the pit lane. Lee Hoffner's out. I think he's binned it on the. Oh, he's binned it at the final corner. Virtual safety car. This will help the likes of Jack.
This could Jack Craig the win, surely.
This could massively help Jack. The timing on that couldn't have been better. Where will he rejoin on the circuit? Dom's pitted. I don't believe he'll come out behind Kong Hoffner. So he's coming up to turn 1, and Alistair isn't even at the sector 1 split yet. Perfect for him.
Oh, that didn't last long.
Didn't last long, but it's definitely helped that Jack in the Alfa Romeo. So they've now all got to get a move on. They've all now got to get a move on. They're all now on the back foot compared to Jack, who has got a bit of clean air as well to push. He's gone for the... Oh, I'll say he's gone for it. It was the most sensible strategy to go for the median compound. Jordan and I getting closer to the back of Alistair. Doesn't look to be in a rush though. Smokey J is now on the back of Baza. Has the DRS. Pulls to the right hand side. Can't quite make it move. Baza holding him on for now. Will we see any of the race leaders come in then? Bit early to really check it, but Alistair now coming up now to the penultimate corner. Will we see him come in even? Alistair stays out. So they're all staying out then. Will the tyres not make it? Or are they trying to get a bit of a gap on Jack? Smokey J's out. Chris Johnson is in then, so he is going for the undercut on those two. It'll be interesting to see where he comes out in comparison to Jack, because Jack was behind him, so maybe that is Chris reacting to Alfa Romeo. Where is he going to rejoin? Jack now is going past pole position, and he's massively ahead of Chris, so by the looks of it he could come out leading this Grand Prix, which is good for Alfa and the constructors, but not good for those around him who want to catch him. Kong Hoffner, I believe, has found his way past Smokey, who has come into the pit actually, so he found his way past him because he's come into the pit lane. Dominic Smith then into 8th. Never mind. It's about to be 9th. Oh, never mind. Dom's actually kept someone behind him. Fair play.
I went off lost about seconds, but he's all over me now.
Under pressure now from Kong Hoffner. People messaging.
Alistair got a penalty.
The TGP account. I'm not sure. No. Don't believe he does.
Oh, spin a turn just ahead of Alistair. Something's happened.
It's Mick Schumacher. It's Marco again.
It is Marco on those hard tyres. Now we should see Alistair come in through the pit lane. Kong Hoffner though on the back of Dominic. Goes for the inside. Finds his way past the Ferrari, but Dom's going to come back at him. Alistair's come in. Will Jordan come in? Don't believe he will. Jordan now takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Also still battling now, but where is Jack? Jack is coming round the penultimate corner now. Alistair's not even in his pit box.
Oh, side by side.
Jack round the final corner. Want to see where these come out. This is crucial for the championship. Alistair, is he going to hold him? I don't know yet. They're going to be close. The two Alfa Romeos. Alistair holds it just. That puts a bit of pressure now on Jordan to come out ahead of the two Alphas. Alistair's only just kept Jack behind him.
Oh, what? Turn one.
Dexter,
Jesus.
Smokey, Dom, Kong all battling for 6, 7, 8, the 9th.
We were 4 wide. It was crazy.
Dominic Smith then.
Oh,
Down
keep
into
losing it.
P9. Just hasn't got that middle. Sorry, the first sector hooked up. Neither does Dexter apparently. And Kong Hoffner now into Simmons with Smokey J's on the fresher tire. Can he set his sights now on Chris Johnson? So Baz and Jordan yet to come into the pit lane. Dom now side by side with Dexter. Car number 75. He will have the DRS. Get it into overtake, Dom Smith. Not hot lap, overtake. There we go.
Jack's third.
Jack's found his way past Alistair then, using the DRS to get past his teammate.
Oh.
That VSC really playing into his hands. Dom and Dex just side by side.
Nice.
So Jordan then coming
battle,
into
innit?
the pit lane. Be interesting to see where he comes out in contrast to everyone else. But Dominic then still down in P9. Can he find his way past Dexter? Kong Hoffner starting to pull away from that, and Smokey J should be with the fresher tyre. Where is Jack now in comparison to Jordan? Jordan is about to cross the pit lane line, and Jack takes the lead of the American Grand Prix, but has his teammate right behind him for company. It's an Alpha 1-2, a McLaren 3-4. Dexter now catching Kong Hoffner. Will he go for a move now? I think he's a bit too far back.
Rain in 10 minutes.
Rain
Bit
in
late,
10
but-
minutes. I won't come. I don't believe that will trouble the drivers. A lot of support in the chat for Jack. That must be the Speed Boys, Wilkin Boys. Alistair now putting his teammate under a bit of pressure. He'll now have the DRS this time around to find his way past. He wants to get back into this title fight. You've got to pass him. Don't take out your teammate, but get past him. And he's got it into overtake, so he's definitely going to try now to get past Jack Craig. Here we go, the two Alphas. Alistair late on the brakes, just not late enough. Jack gives him the room, but Alistair can't find a way past him just yet. The two Alphas now side by side entering the middle sector. Sorry, the final sector here. Will Alistair go for it? Norris past the Ferrari here, and Alistair passes the World Championship leader there. Alistair retakes the lead of the American Grand Prix and is up into first. Jack down to second and is now under pressure from Jordan. He'll want a bit of that Alfa Romeo as well, but Jack holding on to second place for now. Can Alistair try and pull away from these guys? Jack under now severe pressure from Jordan. Can he find a way past the Alfa Romeo? Chris Johnson just behind that as well, so he'll want to try and get in there as well. They're both gaining on Alistair. Can't do anything about it. Jordan can't quite pass the Alfa Romeo just yet. Alistair then running wide into turn one, but holding the lead of the American Grand Prix. Jack and Jordan are getting very close. It's a very difficult circuit. Jordan's been given a penalty. He'll still try and get past them on the racetrack. Now does Chris Johnson here let Smokey go in a bid that Smokey might be able to catch these guys and maybe cause something, but obviously he does need the points. You don't want to risk anything. So there, it's an Alpha 1-2, so that's good in the championship at the moment. Off the Alpha 6 points I believe it was.
Oh, well, Dexter,
behind
nice
McLaren.
Move. 4P7.
Those two side by side earlier on, though,
Dexter
just out
ready.
breaking himself. Dexter finding his way back past two retirements in this Grand Prix, Lee Hoffner and Mick Schumacher. Smokey J is now up the inside of Chris, and he's passed. Now can he? He's got 3.4 seconds as the gap between Smokey and Jordan, and he's not got long to catch these guys, but maybe just enough time
Oh, Alistair.
to find his way, as Alistair made a wee mistake. No, he hasn't. Jordan then on Jack. The Alpha and the McLaren side by side, give each other room, don't take each other out. Jack forces the McLaren off the racetrack and holds P2 for now. But Alistair is doing what he needs to do. Jack now under severe pressure from Jordan. Getting the slipstream, Jordan. There we go. Thinks better off it, and Jack holding P2 for now, but Jordan will have to find a way past, because Smokey is now catching these guys. If he finds a way past Jack, Smokey could easily find a way past Jack. He is on the faster rubber. You can see the dirty air through that middle sector, sorry, the first sector. You see the McLaren sliding all about the place. There's just no front end grip when you're in someone's dirty air. But Jordan, he needs to find a way past Jack if he wants to win this World Championship. Jack hasn't got a massive gap at the top, but it's a decent gap. Maybe Alistair now, I think, has pulled out of DRS here for Jack, and indeed he has, so Jack's not going to have DRS this time around. And here comes Jordan. Can he take second off Jack? Oh, they're getting very close. Jordan pulls to the inside. Jack looked later on the brakes, but I think Jordan, oh, they're squeezing each other. Jordan into second. And this is all letting Smokey get very close. Jack trying to find his way back past the McLaren. Can't quite do it yet, and Jack demoted to P3, and Smokey J is only 1.2 seconds behind these guys. So this isn't great for him at all. Softs, well, fresh softs will start to go off soon against freshest mediums, and Smokey just picks up a penalty. He's got too eager, he had time, didn't need to rush it. He's got the DRS now on Jack. Chris just hasn't got the pace at the minute to keep up with these guys. Smokey J's thinks better of it, don't take out the World Championship leader. But he's all over the bat now of Jack. This could be massive. Round the outside, heading down the hill, and is past the Alfa Romeo. But now Jordan and Smokey have penalties. They're going to have to pull away or hope that Jack makes a mistake. But Smokey is in to P3, and Jack will now be hoping Smokey can find a way past Jordan. Smokey's made an error. That's going to allow Jack now back in the Alpha. They're very close, making contact, and I think Jack will be quite unhappy with Smokey there. No damage, but very aggressive driving from the Williams. And Smokey then holding on to P3. Can Chris now maybe try and catch Jack? It's up to 1.8 seconds to catch on lap 12 out of 14 in this Grand Prix. Smokey getting close now to Jordan, who's getting closer to Alistair.
Go on, Chris.
So TGI Peter is wanting a penalty update. Inverness fan 94, I believe, doesn't have one. Jordan, I believe, has 3 seconds. Smokey, I believe, has 3 seconds.
I'll get another one if I cut corner.
You'll get another one if he cuts the corner. Don't cut another one. I don't believe Jack has one. Chris, I don't believe, has one. That's the only ones that really matter. Don't really know about the rest. I know Dom has a few. Smokey though on the back of Jordan. Can he find a way past? Oh, Smokey's put it in the wall. Too eager on the power. And there goes the damage. He kept the wheels on. Will he defend Chris into turn 1? I don't believe he will. It's worthless defending that now. You've got no downforce on that thing. So also then leading the American Grand Prix from Jordan, from Jack, from Chris. Jack has been given a 3-second time penalty. Don't get any more, anyone else.
Smokey's crashed out, by the way.
Smokey has just put it into the wall then. You see his Dom, that promotes Dom into 8th place. That's the only overtaking he's done this season. Oh, the rear did not like that from Dom. He's now under pressure from F1 Baza.
Gonna get me.
He makes an error as well. You see the dirty air through that first sector with these cars. It's not nice at all. We're on the penultimate lap of this Grand Prix. Jordan is now all over the back of Alistair. Alistair made a mistake. Alistair's a lot more battery to use as well, so he's just got to be careful here, Alistair. He doesn't want to let them all too close. Jack's 3.3 seconds behind Jordan. Chris has caught about 2/10 on this lap.
Nice move, Barry.
Baza finds his way past Dom. Yes. He makes an error. Dom giving Mark room, but it is past. Half a second I separate first and second. Alistair knows Jordan has a penalty. He hasn't really got to push like mad for it. He'll win this race as long as he keeps it on the island. Rebel Kim being given a 3-second time penalty. Dominic now all over the back of Baza. Jordan now getting close to the Alfa Romeo heading down the hill. Jack now 3 seconds behind Jordan. So if Jordan has 6 seconds and Jack only has 3, Jordan would hold on to second for now. Chris Johnson not really closing enough
Oh, I've got
On the
6
off,
now.
Jordan's been given a penalty.
Oh, Jordan.
It's 6 now, but at the moment, I think he would still beat Jack. He's just maybe got to find a 10th just to make sure. It's not, though, what he would have wanted at all. He's all over the back of Alistair now. Alistair won't be in a hurry. He knows Jordan has a penalty. I don't think he'd be too fussed if he won it on the road or not. He just wants to win a Grand Prix and get himself back into it. Jordan on Alistair. I don't think he'll try anything. Jordan's a sensible driver. Jack's now 3.2 seconds behind Jordan, so Jordan doing what he needs to do because Jack has a penalty as well. So at the moment he'd beat him by 0.2 of a second. Chris is now 1.5 behind Jack, but I don't think Jack has 6 seconds worth of penalties. But here we go then. You started on pole position. He's had so many pole positions this season, but only the 1 race win. And he doubles that tonight. It's now 2 race wins for Alfa Romeo. For him in the Alfa Romeo. Also wins the American Grand Prix. Jordan 2nd, Jack 3rd, Chris 3rd, Jack down to 4th. So the two, everybody outscoring the championship leader, who drops to 5th. Colin Offner's beating him as well. That is a big punch in the gap for Alfa Romeo in the constructors and
fuel
in the championship. Dom's run out of fuel. New internet. Doppio Dominic.
Fucking hell. Bring back the old internet.
What an American Grand Prix that is. The championship leader barely scoring any points. Marco's not happy. He wants the tyres on simulation. TGP, don't use simulation. It's only 25%. It makes it completely ruin someone's Grand Prix if they were spun around through fault off their own. I'm going to go get the drink, so I'll hand you over to Dom Smith.
Well then, the 5-way title fight remains 5 drivers, and it's the guy who was in 5th place that takes the race win. So the top 5, the gap between them is closed down. We'll get the points very shortly, but Alistair with a huge win, he needed to take it. But he also needed his teammate to get a bit of bad luck, and he has gained 15 points from this race. As we wait for Kim to complete the points positions, and the fastest lap, I can tell you, went to Alistair, so 26 points. Alistair with a huge marker here, and with 2 races to go, he now has a real chance of taking this.
Jack.
But Alistair, with the win, Jordan 2nd, as Kim is going to give us some donuts, I think, at the end here, celebrating his Personality of the Year award, 2 years running. Chris with a crucial 3rd, didn't quite beat his teammate, which he could have already done with. Kong Offner snatches 4th.
Jack Craig.
6th, Dexter 7th. He's not here, Marco. What a race that was.
We have to change the setting. The tire temperature is not on simulation.
Okay.
Evening.
Well, there is your podium for the American Grand Prix.
Oh, Barry, what a race. I had about 6 different battles with 6 different drivers that one.
Yeah, that was some battle, Dom. First stint and final few
Well, I
laps.
had great battles with everyone, but then I started to lag a bit. But there was one moment I think we all, I don't know if we did touch, I didn't touch on my screen, but it looked like we may have touched because your car went slightly right, so I don't know
All
if
I'm going to ask is,
No contact from me.
are we going to get Dom Smith insights?
We're going to get Donsif insights very shortly. Points on the way.
Is what you like to hear. Powered not by AWS, so they actually mean something. Powered by the Isle of Man.
Not the thoughts of TGB series.
So there is the American Grand Prix. Just trying to find the fastest lap.
It was Alistair, I believe.
It was Alistair getting
Got it.
26 points now. Pole position, race win, and the fastest lap. A hat trick in Formula 1. But it's a good day for McLaren. Might have been beaten by one Alpha, but both of them have beaten the second one. And all the drivers behind Jack outscoring him in the first race, not the start you would have wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, as soon as he pulled into the pit lane, I'm like, right, VSC. VSC. So
Alfa lead the constructors by 3 points.
Yeah,
Pretty close.
it is close indeed. I do
So
believe
Lars
we've
is
got
getting
Don
closer.
Smith insights on the
drivers-
way.
Championship standings, Alistair was 49 behind? That's now down to 32, so he's taken quite a bit off. Aidan now will go through the championship standings. Jordan is that, Aidan. Jordan is that. It's not what I said.
Don Smith insights never correct. Anyway, so it is still Jack leading the Drivers' Championship, but only by 9 points now to Jordan. Jack's on 240, Jordan on 231. Chris is on 220, and Alistair moving on to 208. So he is back in it. He does need a very good Brazilian Grand Prix. But Alistair has started the night, hopefully, by the way he means to go on. A hat-trick in the last race. As we now move on to Brazil. So Jack, not what he would have wanted. 10 points in that last Grand Prix, which now puts him 9 now ahead of Jordan. Jordan closing in the gap.
Alistair's a dark
points.
horse too. Could emulate his hero, Kimi Raikkonen, and snatch it.
We could genuinely see by mild calculations we win the championship by 1 point.
Chris, you're 20 points behind. I guess you can count yourself an outsider.
Well, if Alistair was walking behind Kimi Raikkonen, he'd kiss the floor he walked on. Does love that man. So if he can win it from so far back, it would be incredible. Kimi had to beat Alonso and Hamilton on that day. Still done it. Incredible drive from Kimi. And to date, his only championship.
Dry race.
It is going to be a dry race. Here we go. There's the Dom Smith insights.
Thank you.
It's a bit disappointed we didn't hear your team radio like we did last week, but it's all good.
I was just enjoying the battles, to be honest. I had about 5 different battles with 5 different drivers. No contact with anyone. I enjoyed that one.
Couldn't be bothered
Good fun.
watching it because it was you.
Thank you. Well, the viewers missed out on a real treat.
Well, I went to it sometimes.
Thank
You got to emulate the real sport, the real TV director, only watch the front cars.
Oh, yes. Not the views of TGB series again.
And I know that. I sit through a whole week supporting Saints and I see him once and it's on the grid graphic. Here we go. Brazilian Grand Prix. Who is going to get pole?
bollocks.
It's easy to invalidate your lap time. Has anyone done that yet? I don't believe so. Everyone will be taking it nice and cautious. Went with Smokey last time. Let's go with a different car. He's put it in the wall, so we are going to go with something else. Let's go with Jordan. Put him under a bit of pressure. Brazilian Grand Prix. So Jack's up there at the moment. Also needs to find a bit of time.
Oh, bollocks.
Oh, Jordan. That's it. He'll be starting from the back.
Not what Jordan needed.
Can Alistair get that Alpha up there? He's scrapping away for a midfield spot. He needs to find a few extra attempts. At the moment, it is looking good for Jack. And at the moment, Alistair's find a bit of pace in that last sector. He's put himself up there. I believe it's going to be Jack on pole. Bit of a gap to Chris. It is going to be Jack on pole for the Brazilian Grand Prix, followed by Chris, then Alistair, then Erlen Ang, Lee Hoffner, Baza Kong, Dom, Ribble, Kim. 9th place, and it's Marco, Jordan, Dexter, and Smokey is soft. He puts a massive box for the second week in a row over the standings.
Qualified 8th for the 5th race in a row.
Consistency, Dom Smith, it's consistency.
Consistently 8th.
I forgot to do a setup for the second race in a row.
Oh, excellent. Fantastic.
So Jack then taking pole by a 10th of a second to Chris and Alistair. Erlen Ang a bit further back on the medium compound tyre, no less.
Ooh.
Will we see a Bahrain-esque race here? He did it in Bahrain. He was up behind Jordan. He was up behind the 2 Alphas. He stayed with him for the whole Bahrain Grand Prix on the slower compound and came right into it at the end. And we all know how that race ended, especially for Jack Craig speeding in the pit lane and costing himself another race victory. He does love speeding in the pit lane. believe Softy's joining the party.
Yeah, boy.
Just
Thought
what you want to
Softy.
hear.
It's looking pretty close, isn't it?
Yes, very close. It's going to be an exciting race. After that session, I'm so looking forward to it. It's going to be amazing.
Thank you, Softy.
Well,
The
it's
views
got
of the
everything in
football
store to be a fantastic race. You've got a championship fight, a championship rival coming from the back of the grid. You've got Jack on pole, you've got Chris second, Alistair third. He really needs to get past Jack as quick as possible. So, just heading into the Brazilian Grand Prix, it is Jack on 240, Jordan on 231, Chris on 220, and then Alistair, proper real outsider, on 208. Obviously got the hat-trick in Brazil, pole race win and the fastest lap, taking his second race win of the season, and I swear about his 9th pole position this season. He's been fantastic in qualifying, just lacking the race craft to really make anything from it. But lights now are coming on for the Brazilian Grand Prix, and it is lights down, away we go. It's Jack from pole, from Chris from Alistair. Can any of them find a way past the Alpha? Jack is defending here from Chris. We're going to do a softy, we are going to go on board. Alistair then, oh, he's made a bit of an error. It's going to put him under a bit of pressure now from Lee Hoffner, but now Chris, will he have a bit of a run on Jack? I don't believe he will. Marco's found his way past Dom Smith as they all now funnel down the hill into the left-hander. It's Jack leading from Chris, from Alistair, from Lee, from Bazza, from Marco.
Fuck's sake. Got wing damage.
Jordan then, I believe, has wing damage, so not what he would have wanted at all. Chris needs to stay with Jack now, find a way past. Chris is lagging a bit, not sure if that's me or if it's Chris, but he is lagging just a bit. Alistair then, he'll want to find a way past Chris as well. Dexter's falling down the order. Jordan, Erlen Ang and Smokey have all passed him. Now Rebel Kim has got past them. Not sure what's going on there with the mark. But now Chris, will he have a good run here on Jack to find a way past the Alfa Romeo? Jack's already pulling a bit of a gap on the McLaren. Obviously Alfa leading by 3 points in the Constructors' Championship. Jack obviously setting the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, but Jordan has come in, so he will be going to the end, and he's sped in the pit lane. He's done a Jack.
Ah, Jordan.
I think that pretty much puts him out of it, and Jack is now heading for a TGP2 title.
Jack could win it here, of course.
Could, yeah.
Alistair has outscored Jack by 7. Mick Schumacher's going for a move on Bazza for 5th. Didn't quite work out. Bazza holds it for now.
So Alistair then happened to outscore Jack by 7 points. I do love a good Dom Smith insight.
The very best.
The very best, much better than AWS. Not even sure what that stands for, but Chris now starting to catch Jack a bit. Jack has a lot more battery compared to Chris already, and it's only lap 2. Jack very conservative with his battery, likes to run with about 70-80%, and still has some decent pace with it. Alistair's falling back a bit. You got Lee Hoffman in there, Bazza and Marco. Marco trying to find a way past Bazza. Very aggressive there from Marco as he tries to find a way past the mark. Yellow flag into sector 2, not sure who that's for, but Marco now pulls to the left hand side, squeezing Bazza all the way. It's now a drag race down into turn 1. Chris is trying to find a way past Jack and thinks better of it. Jack defending into turn 1, can't quite do it. DRS enabled. Marco's found his way past Bazza. That might allow Dom a run in down the hill. Dom will get the DRS. Baz also has DRS, that'll keep him ahead, but Chris now on the back of Jack, and Alistair is now on the back of Chris as well. We've got to watch out. That McLaren is lagging just a bit. Kong Hoffner's been overtaken by Erlen Ang. Battle going ahead, it's Baz and Marco. Dom Smith now up the inside. He finds his way past the Mercedes and is into P6. Haven't eaten a drink.
Yes, it's all happening then. Jordan at the back, not what he needed for his title hopes. Only just completing the first sector now. But Jack Craig is looking good, just needs to win this race. And it'll be him versus Chris for the title if things stay as they are.
Looking fantastic, but Chris is on the back of Jack, so Chris looking very positive at the start of this Grand Prix. He's looking to attack Jack, he doesn't want to sit back, he's going for it. He has got the DRS, which I think is really keeping him in touch. Every time we get to that start finish straight, he's dropped all the way back. So maybe it's helping
unless
him
Chris
down.
gets the fastest lap, Jack will win the title as things stand.
So Chris doesn't, we'll go with that, Chris doesn't get the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Jack was going to win the DGP2 Championship with a race to spare. Also just behind him, I think is lacking just that little bit pace to really close in. He's got to watch out for Lee Hoffner and Marco, who are looking quite feisty. Kong Hoffner is now on the back of Erlenang, but Chris, a lot more quicker than Jack through Sector 1 actually. 7 tenths now down to 3 tenths, but I said 3 seconds there. Can that McLaren find a way past Jack? Maybe he's running
Marco's lost it on the grass.
Aero. He's managed to keep it out of the wall, and Dom's found his way past.
Very nice.
And is now into P5, but will probably fall behind Marco within a couple of corners. Now Chris, I think this is the closest he has been to Jack. Not using a lot of the battery is Chris, maybe not wanting to attack just yet. Not using the higher modes down the straight. But he is gaining on Jack now. Jack weaving about to try and break the toll. Chris has set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, so that's what he needs to stop Jack winning the Drivers' Championship at this moment. Obviously Jack is on 240, Chris is on 220, 20 points behind Jack Craig and is keeping within DRS. He's also got to watch out for Jack's teammate and Alistair.
Gone from bad to worse for Jordan.
Is there a front wing on that car? I can't tell because there's not a good camera angle.
Probably not.
I have.
Yeah, it's got a front wing, just couldn't get the right angle. Chris all over the bat now of Jack. But again, Chris has to watch out for Jack's teammate and Alistair, because Alistair needs to get back in this as well. So he'll want to get past Chris as quick as he can. And then he'll want to maybe try and attack Jack. He has to watch out for him as well. Lee Hoffner's falling back from this. Dom is under a bit of pressure from Marco. 1.3 seconds the gap, so he's having to keep checking the mirrors. But Chris now, can he get close to Jack? He's turning up the battery just a bit more now as Chris. He's maybe getting a bit less patient to find his way past the Alpha. 5 tenths as they come across the line. Just can't get close enough at the moment. Maybe Chris running a bit more aero than that Alpha Romeo. Alistair's falling back a bit on this lap as well. Jack's been given a 3-second time penalty. That could change absolutely everything at the moment. He dropped behind Chris and Alistair. Not quite Lee Hoffman at this moment, but not when he would have wanted at all. So now Chris and Alistair just keep it on the island, don't get a penalty. Because at the moment, you'll be finishing ahead of him. And it cost him in United States. Will it cost him in Brazil? Smokey is out of the session. Is there a safety car?
He put a wheel on the grass and lost it and went into the wall.
Oh, Chris was lagging a bit there. Chris's car slowed down, so I thought maybe there was a safety car. I think that's actually cost Alistair a bit of time because he actually couldn't get past the laggy McLaren. But Jack then doing what he needs to do apart from that penalty. That's a bit devastating for him, especially with Jordan down there as well. Obviously Jordan has made his pit stop, so it'll be interesting to see where he comes out in front of all these guys. But Chris now getting closer to Jack, can't find his way past at this moment as we start lap 7 out of 18 in this Grand Prix. Kong Hoffner has come into the pit lane for the Racing Point team. That allows Dexter and Baz
lost it
to 7th and 8.
He caught it. Marco's struggling out there.
Well, according to Don, Marco was struggling, but he looked planted to me. New Telecom's clearly not doing what it's supposed to do.
Dear.
Erlenang then sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. I do believe Erlenang has actually come into the pits. Yes, he has. He has pitted in this Grand Prix. So he's got the fresh soft compound tyre to try and get that fastest lap. He's shown it from Chris. It's not what Chris would have wanted. Chris and Jack very similar on battery power. Alistair has a full battery. Not using absolutely any of it. Maybe just waiting for these two to take each other out. Maybe not risking a penalty either at this early stage of the Grand Prix. But will we see any of these drivers come into the pit lane? Will we see Alistair try and do the undercut?
Jack is the one to do the undercut.
Jack stays out, Chris stays out, and Alistair stays out. Maybe that was the chance there for Alistair.
Alistair had to pit.
Try the undercut. No one else is coming into the pit lane, so maybe it's just a bit too early. It's been a long time since I've done sweat. Not quite sure how long the tyres make it. Chris there looked like he was going straight into the wall, but the lag saving him there a bit.
Jack will pit this lap. Dom Smith, solutions, updates.
70% chance that Jack will come into the pit lane.
Yeah, right.
And if any of these
Chris
insights
has
are
to
wrong,
respond
they're powered by ILR, so it's fine. So hopefully they're all wrong, to be fair. Jack then is first, Chris is second, Alistair is starting to close the gap and still has 100% battery. He really could push on now. Or does he? Or maybe he's just saving it so there's a bit more cleaner air. Chris getting very close now to the back of Jack, pushing him around that corner as they fly down the hill. Chris having to lift through there. Will any of these guys come into the pit lane? Jack just seems to have a bit of an edge on the cars behind at the moment. Lee Hoffner has closed in a bit on these guys. Jack Craig stays out. Chris Johnson coming in.
Oh.
Alistair stays out.
Well, Dom Smith Solutions know nothing.
Alistair stays out in this Grand Prix. Chris, do you have damage?
No, just now's a good time to it.
Yeah, Chris has damage.
What a surprise, Chris Johnson bottles it.
Not quite sure why Chris is staying still. Maybe they were changing the front wing. So it's now up to Alistair pretty much. And I don't even think that would be enough even if he beat Jack, because he's got outscored by 7 points to keep it going. It was a big ask for him to try and re-enter this title fight. Too many mistakes have cost him it.
Behind Erland as well, I think.
He has, he's come out behind Erlen Eye, so not what Chris would have wanted. Is there a new front wing? No, there's not.
Jack Craig
McLaren
will win the title. This thing's down and something pretty good for him, even without the race win.
Will he allow Alistair to pit then, to maybe try get ahead off the cars and maybe cover him from Lee Hoffner? If he knows Chris has damage, he'll surely stay out. He does stay out, so now Alistair's got to come in. Alistair is coming in, so he's going to try the undercut on his teammate then. Alistair gets it slowed down. Lee Hoffner's coming in as well, so that sort of saves him from there. Marco's staying out. Dexter, I believe, will stay out as well. Dom, when's your pit window?
I paid last lap.
Well, I missed that, so my eyes clearly not better than Dom's insights. But Dom under a bit of pressure now from Erlen, whose softs will start to be going off very soon. How long has he been on those tyres? We should find out. He's been on those for 5 laps now. So the softs will start to be disappearing. Where's Alistair going to rejoin in comparison to these guys? He's got clean air. It's exactly what he would have wanted. Chris picks up a time penalty.
That's up then.
So I believe Jack now is going to win TGP2. Dom then.
That's through.
Passed by Erlen. Dom getting a lot of stream time today. Not quite sure what's going on.
Nice, isn't it?
Just trying to show off the nice internet that he's got. Baza picks up a penalty as well.
No surprises there.
But also then about 19 seconds, give or take, behind Jack. It's not an overly long pit lane here. It's a bit of a dodgy pit exit though. Not a massive fan of it. Marco's made a mistake going up the hill. Not quite sure what he's done there. Jack stays out again. So maybe Jack thinking he's got this in the bag and he's not risking it.
She's not going to pit. Not risk a penalty.
But Alistair then into second place now. Back into where he was.
Remember?
Erlen, yeah, has pitted in this Grand Prix, but I don't think the softs will really last that long. It's been on there for 6 laps now. They're not going to go, what, another 7? Erlen will surely have to 2-stop in this Grand Prix. Lee Hoffner, though, is on course for the podium. So you can see there they are, everybody that has stopped, except Jack and Red Bull Kim. Everyone really on the mediums. A few drivers on the softs. Jordan coming into the pit lane, so maybe just trying to salvage what he can. Rebel Kim's actually put it into the wall and is now out. So if there's a safety car, that'd be perfect for Jack because it's happened already once this time. He's staying out, so it doesn't matter if there was. 20 seconds now, the gap between him and Alistair. Maybe Alistair just not pushing. He knows it's not in his hands now, it's now in Jack's. And especially if Jack has a penalty, maybe not wanting to rush anything. Erlen is now on the back of Lee Hoffner. Not quite close enough, but Dexter now is close to Marco. Sorry, Baz is close to Marco, but he's going to put his teammate under a bit of pressure, I think, before. Oh, Marco's going very slowly closing speed. That was massive. Marco goes defensive. Baz can't find a way through. Neither can Dexter, so they're all going to go single file through the centre S's. Kong Hoffner in there as well. Gap coming down between Jack and Alistair. There goes Baza now. Marco goes defensive yet again. Maybe a bit questionable there from Marco. Baza not finding his way through at the moment. All over the back of Marco now is Baza. Summing 2 seconds for Dom Smith.
Not me.
Oh. Jack finally has called it a day on those tyres and has come into the pit lane.
P3, P4.
Early night. Those softs must be going off now. Early night now, I think he's just a bit too far back from Lee Hoffman. But where is Alistair now? With Jack. Jack's crossed the pit lane line now. Alistair's coming through turn 1. It's going to be close between these two. Very close again, just like it was in America, I think. Jack has jumped him. Jack keeps ahead, but does have a penalty. Baza is battling side by side with his team with the two Mercs into the centre S's. Very close there between those two. Jack Alistair's picked up a 3-second time penalty. So Jack now just has to win it on the road, but will Alistair now attack his teammate? I hope he will. He needs to learn how to win more races. I hope he attacks Jack, because Jack looks like he's going to win it anyway. Yep, he obviously wants second. He's got to attack him, surely. Don't do anything silly, but attack your teammate. Kong Hoffner now, Baza going wheel to wheel through the middle sector here. As he hits F1 Baza there.
Oh, third and fourth. And fifth.
Third and fourth now, not side by side, but very close between these two now. Lee Hoffner and Erlenang. Erlenang on very worn softs. I mean, Dom's keeping up with them. I think that shows how worn they are. Sorry, Dominic.
Thank you.
Erlenang now on Lee Hoffner. Does go for it. That's a horrible camera angle. Can he find his way past the centre S's to make contact? Lee Hoffner picks up a penalty for it. Erlenang now's got the run heading to the left-hander. Dom now is wanting to get involved in this. Be careful.
Jesus Christ.
Erlenang. Can he do it? Oh no! Lee Hoffman and Erlenang very close. Unsettling the Toro Rosso. Dom.
Oh, fuck off. I had to go wide to Voiland. I didn't want to risk the instant, but I got... Oh, shut. Oh, fuck off.
Dom Smith then into V4, but picking up a penalty. Can Alistair now find a way past his teammate? Go for it. Go win the race. Go finish the season in style. You've got nothing to lose. You may as well go for it. Your teammate does though, so don't take him out.
Oh, Marco's gone.
Oh, does he see? Chris opens the DRS. Gaining on the slipstream. Up the inside, very late on the brakes, and Erlenang seen it coming. Holding on to B5. Also getting close to Jack. But I believe at the moment, Alfa Romeo would win the Constructors, no?
Potentially. Might not be, but depends what McLaren do. It's going to be close.
Well, with Jordan not even scoring and Alfa possibly taking maximum points.
Yeah, I think Chris's 8 points just keeps it alive for the moment.
So Chris keeping it alive for the Papaya. Jordan actually moves in now into the points.
Yeah, if Jordan is 10th with fastest lap,
he has
and
got
Jack
the fastest
Craig's
lap
only
at the moment.
second, then it does go on. But Jack Craig has to be second. If Alistair isn't winning the race, then Jack Craig will win the top.
Can Alistair now find a way past Jack? He's now in the slipstream of his teammate going up the hill. This is the closest he's been since the pit stops. He's put it into overtake. Pulls to the right hand side and takes the lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix.
Could keep Jordan in it.
This would, I think it could, yeah, if Jordan can find a few more places. Also takes the lead. Obviously these two do have penalties, so they are racing for position. Jack now has the DRS to come back at his teammate. Now he's going to come back at him. Chris Johnson finds a way past. Alistair doesn't go defensive. Jack later on the brakes, and Jack takes back the lead of the Grand Prix. Alistair should have gone defensive there. He is your teammate, but you want to beat your teammate. Chris is now hunting down Dominic Smith. He's not got a lot of time to do it.
I'm hunting down third, mate.
Dominic, podium.
Has Hoffner got a penalty?
Yes, he does.
Thank you.
I was about to say he's just got an arm, but that's Kong off now.
Prick.
I agree. Also then, on the back of Jack. Can he find a way past? Can he make it 2 from 2? Alistair would want to be up in the... He might not win the championship, but you want to be as high as you possibly can. He is still within DRS to really attack Jack. Marco's been given a penalty. He's going to come back at his teammate, I believe, here. Not turning up the battery this time. You can see just the closing speed with the switching with DRS. Jack goes defensive for 2 alphas! Oh, bit of lag. I thought Alistair hit the grass on entry there, and that was going to make him go straight on if it was. But Alistair will have a second bite at the cherry now. DRS open, Jack going very defensive on his teammate. Jack wants to win this race, wanting to wrap it up. But Alistair, he's hungry for race wins.
Alistair wins, the title race goes to Abu Dhabi.
Well, Jack, they're a bit like Ferrari, these two. They mess about with team orders too much. You do this, you do that. And I believe Jack actually told Alistair for the final week there was nothing. They're both just going to go for it. They're both going to race. I hope that's still standing. I hope he does attack his teammate. We're about to start the final lap. I hope he goes for it. He's got nothing to lose. Jack does. But Alistair hasn't. Turn up that battery, please, Alistair. Overtake your teammate. And he's not going for it. He is. He's lifting off.
Jack Quayle will win the title then.
Not a massive fan of that. I want Jack to win it because he is my pal, but I don't want him to win it like that. You win a world championship by winning it. I never had any assistance from my teammate in my time. To be fair, I had to beat a bottle job. It wasn't difficult. Also then on the back of Jack, can he find a way past going up the hill? Very tempted to run through there and say pass him. Can he find a way past Jack? Don't lift off, go for it. He's too far back now. He had his chance in that main straight. Alistair's actually put it into hot lap now. And into overtake. We're going to get a drag to the line here. DRS open on Alistair. Drag it to the line. Jack wins it by wow. 0.033 the gap between the two. Alistair shoot the bat off going into turn 1, and Jack has won DGB2. Congratulations to him. Alistair should have attacked him on the penultimate lap but left it off. Could have won this race.
I got 9th.
The Brazilian Grand Prix. Jordan got 9th. And the fastest lap as well, I believe, if that changes anything.
Not enough, not enough. Jack Craig taking the win. Meant he got 22 more points than Jordan, which puts him 31 ahead with 1 race to go.
It is an Alpha 1-2, which helps them in the Constructors as well.
There you go then. Elite Shots wrapping up the title by 0.033. Alistair almost pipping his teammate to the win, and it would have kept the title race alive. But Jack Craig wins it with a race to go. Now the next race will be a celebration of Alfa Romeo as they look now to seal the Constructors' Championship. But what a race. And how close was that? Jack Craig is your new TGP2 Season 24 Drivers' Champion.
Good drive from him. Maybe a bit of help from his teammate. But he has got the job done over the season. So many things have gone right for him tonight. The VSC went his way. Jordan validating his lap, picking up damage went his way. Chris making an error. The McLarens just couldn't deal with it. They couldn't keep it up.
That's going to hurt Alistair's chances of a second as well. Alistair's now 8 points off Jordan in second. Would have been 1 point behind had he won that race. In fact, if Alistair had won that race, the top three would have all still been in the championship race. All three of them could have still won it. Alistair himself. So Alistair not winning has knocked himself out of the championship. What if Alistair was aware of that?
He had to go for it. These results though are pulling Alistair in for a decent championship finish. Obviously no one can win it now, bar Jack, obviously who's already won it, so he'll be finishing first no matter what. But Alistair's pulling himself up there. Jordan and Chris are letting it slip just a bit. Alfa Romeo had a disastrous start to the start of the season, and I told them, if you want to win something, you're going to have to pick it up. Come the likes of Spa, Monza, and they've done that. They've been absolutely fantastic, the Alfa Romeos, and they'll be looking now to clinch the constructors as well. I won my championship in a Cyber, which pretty much is an Alfa Romeo. I believe the next one was then won by an Alfa Romeo. I believe the last 4 World Championships have all been in the Alfa Romeo. This is on equal cars. I mean, even if it wasn't, Alfa probably still wouldn't win it. But anyway, Alfa Romeo dominating TGP2 at the moment. So moving on then to the final race in TGP2. Jack is your champion on 265. Jordan is second on 234. Chris is third on 230, and Alistair is now fourth on 226. 8 points behind second in the championship. Does need results to go his way if he wants to get that.
Yeah, Chris is 4 points off Jordan, and of course, whoever is ahead of their teammates becomes number 1 for the following season. So Chris, if he wins, if he beats Jordan in the championship, he will become number 1 at McLaren and can therefore pick his teammate. He might not kick out Jordan, they could re-sign, but the option's there. If Jordan could himself beat Chris and sign up someone else. So, you know, a lot of things to think about, a lot of battles, inter-team battles to be decided, and Alistair still with a chance to take second. 8 points off Jordan, 4 points behind Chris.
Thing with the transfer window is, well, even if they're not at Alpha, I do think those two will be teammates again. Alistair not looking to go with anyone else, Jack not looking to go with anyone else. Maybe it would be a good thing. I think if they left, they've now been teammates for 2 seasons, there's too much, you do this, you do that, there isn't really get out there and race.
I think Alistair's got to find a new teammate if he wants to win the championship.
There isn't that get out there and race, it's I'll do this if you do that, or okay, you've done this that race, I'm going to do it this race. They just need to get out and win races, or be it's worked for them, one of them is a champion, and they are possibly about to win the Constructors after an awful start to the season for both of them. So they have turned it around. But if those two weren't teammates, you might see a bit more racing from them. Alistair attacking Jack, Jack attacking him, those two scrapping for positions instead of being a bit cautious with each other. But I don't believe they're looking to go anywhere else. I do believe they're looking at other cars on the grid. I believe Renault was rumoured around the paddock to be
dry race,
one of the destinations, Abu Dhabi dry race. Don't think that was ever in doubt, to be fair.
I've remembered the setup this time.
Good.
Also, Dominic, I was correct, yes? The last 4 champions in TGP2 have been Alphas.
Yeah, Alpha and Red have won the Constructors. I think they're going for a 4th consecutive title if they win this one. So Alpha seems to be the team to be at if you want to win a Constructors.
It is indeed. So, for the final time this season, let's go with Dominic Smith for qualifying. He doesn't like to be on the stream when he's doing qualifying. He doesn't like to be put under pressure, but he does it to us when we're doing TGP1.
Oh, shut the
So it's time to repay the favour. Dominic then early on the brakes there. Oh, nice exit there. To the hairpin. Very nice indeed. Very nice from Dom Smith there. In third! Dom's going to be getting a nosebleed. Chris is, I think both McLarens are out of qualifying. And Alpha at the moment are holding a 1-2, so what they need for the Constructors. Dominic's, oh, he's dropped a bit there. Oh, he's gained a bit. Oh, he's dropped a bit.
Oh, shut up.
Dom Smith struggling then with the
Former
pressure.
champion deserves some respect.
Probably got a massive grin on his face at the moment. Alistair's lost a bit of time. He was on pole for this whole race. Marco's thrown himself into the hat there as well for pole position. Dom's lost a bit of time in that middle sector. Can he end the season on a high? Erlen Ang has retired from qualifying. See how bumpy the curbs are at this circuit. Very aggressive. They throw the car around. It is going to be Jack, I believe, on pole. Oh, it might be Marco even. It is Marco. Marco takes the final pole position this season in TGP2, followed by Jack, Alistair, Dom in 4th. That's a nosebleed moment for him. Smokey J's is 5th, Kong Hoffner's 6th, Baz is 7th, Dexter 8th, Chris, who disconnected, is 9th.
Rebel Kim giving us donuts, personality of the year, 2 years running. Can't quite do donuts though, unfortunately. Well, Rebel Kim has number 69, putting on the show.
It is the Christmas spirit, so Chris Johnson giving us a wonderful donut show. Next time, just cross the line, please. So there is a Mick Schumacher, also known as Marco, taking pole. Wow, by under a tenth, under half a tenth. Alistair almost 3 tenths back. Dom 8 tenths back. I don't think that's a surprise though. Dom does get a lot of criticism from the boys on the commentary box.
Undeserved as well, I'd say.
I'd say it's fully deserved.
What is deserved though? Jack Craig stepping up this season. Really put a, I don't know what's changed. Maybe it's joining the speed. He's last season showed some, promises. But this season stepped it up, and look at that, a champion, a deserving champion as well.
Came into TGP2 and looked lost. Looked out of his depth. Struggled.
Well,
Went straight at right-handers. Has struggled, but he's finally finding his feet in TGP.
I think next season Jordan and Chris will only be stronger. As well, Alistair.
Maybe it's all the extra league racing he's doing. He's doing a few outside the TGP to pick up the pace. TGP, though, is his priority.
Sounds like it, right?
It is indeed. But Alistair has got better in his 2nd season. Jack's got better in his 3rd. And we're getting ready now for the final time in TGP2 to come out and win a race. But the lights now are coming on. It's a surprise pole sitter in Marco. For the final time in TGP2, lights out, and away we go. It's Marco from Jack, from Alistair, from Dom. Jack trying to find his way past Marco already. Does so. Dom trying to find his way past Alistair. Can't quite do it at the minute, but Marco dropping from pole position down to 2nd. Chris, I think, has made a place up at the back, so has Lee Hoffner on early on, but Marco might come back here at Jack. Thinks better off it. Can Alistair find a way past that Renault? Is that a future destination for those two? Oh, Marco's got wing damage! Trying to find his way past Jack. This might give Alistair a decent run. Heading down the back straight. That's a horrible camera angle. Marco now on Jack. Apparently he's full brake, full throttle. Not quite sure how. Oh, there's a Hasselhoff in the background. I believe that was Cameron earlier. And Marco still trying to go up the inside of Jack there. They've both gone deep. Alistair has played them both like a fiddle. Alistair now slips side by side with his teammate. The two alphas. There is a constructors at stake here, boys. Alistair has the inside on his teammate and is up past Jack. And can he now set his sights on Marco, who has got wing damage? You can just see the curbs, Alistair riding them. You can see how the suspension's having to do a lot of work to keep the car heading in a straight line. But it's an Alpha 2-3, Marco holding on to first at this moment in time. You see a lovely shot there as all the cars fly into the hotel. Marco has got damage. I'm assuming he'll come into the pit lane this time around. It was a massive chunk that came off when he hit Jack, and he is staying out. So Alistair will want to clear him as quick as he possibly can. Dom Smith is still fourth. Smokey's on the slower tyres, though. He does love a good bit of pace on the slower tyre. Alistair pushing Marco round turns 1 and 2. Just be careful. This isn't really an overtaking spot. See the rear because of the dirty air on Alistair. That might allow Jack a good run on him now.
Chris is gone.
Trying to go around the outside of his teammate. The two alphas side by side. Jack forcing Alistair off the circuit. I believe he's now passed. Alistair still has the inside. And it's now going to be a drag race all the way down to the bottom. Alistair into the slipstream now of Jack. Put it into overtake. He's wanting to come back at his teammate. The two alphas at the moment are winning. The constructors up the inside of Jack. Jack maybe shutting the door a bit. They're still side by side. Alistair can't find his way past yet. That allows Dominic Smith on the back of Alistair. This is a great opportunity for him. Here he goes. Pulls to the right hand side. Alistair goes defensive. Has he made the move on him? Alistair's hit the curb on entry. That's going to slow him down. And Dominic is into the podium spots. So Alistair losing positions now. He's hit the curb. Here comes Marco on him now. He's losing more. Marco past the Alpha in the middle. Oh! That was massive. Marco hit the inside wall, which threw him into Alistair.
Marco leads the race.
Marco has damage and is still leading this Grand Prix.
It was Smokey J's.
Smokey. What?
What?
Smokey J's.
Marco's at the front on his own.
What did I say?
You said Marco.
Oh, oops.
About six times.
I meant Smokey. That's what I meant. It doesn't matter.
Meanwhile, Marco is on the track from Jack Craig in first.
He is indeed. That allows Domino into third, but Smokey just hit the inside wall there, trying to get past the Alpha, which threw him into Alistair's side pod. Alistair was lucky that never spun him around. That was massive amount of contact. Can Dom find a way past the champion? Dom maybe heading back to his glory days, maybe?
Oh, what's this? Weaving. Everyone's weaving.
And Dom, then you can tell he's a Kimi fan. Oh! Dom, you can tell you are a Kimi fan. Everyone was weaving down that straight and you were just driving in a straight line. You can't tell you are the Kimi Räikkönen fanboy here. But now Jack all over Marco. Marco being very aggressive in the defending. Squeezing Jack right to the wall! To be fair, Jack could have gone left a bit more. I'll give Marco that one. Jack could have gone left a bit more. Marco's been given a 5-second time penalty, and I should think so.
Yeah,
kept his foot planted. Alistair now is starting to catch up to these guys again after being shunted out of the way by his teammate.
Someone's fighting for the win here then, basically. Oh, Jack Craig's lost it! Oh, he caught it again.
Dominic all over Jack, putting him under a bit of pressure. Dominic, don't do that. I seen that.
Didn't mean to.
I seen that. Don't strict for a reason.
Come on, give me fastest lap. Give me fastest lap. Give me the point.
Go on, give him fastest lap. No.
A joke.
Also then lost a bit of time in that middle sector to these guys. But he'll want to catch quickly while they're all still behind Marco. Dominic's still on the back of Jack. Oh, did you see the dirty air there? That's minging. So what we'll do now, we'll go down into the cockpit of that Ferrari. Dominic, what's it like to be P3?
I don't know what to say, mate. What's going on? New internet seems to have done something.
Kong off.
Oh, not good exit out.
Here comes Jack. This will surely be the chance now to get past Marco. He just flies past that Renault. Well done, find a way past, he's too far back. Marco will be able to come back though. I believe he will get DRS onto the second straight. Alistair's now cut up to the back of these guys. Will Marco come back at Jack? He has got the DRS. Absolutely no battery though. Absolutely none at all. So I think Jack will hold on. And he is indeed. Alistair now getting closer now to Dom Smith, who's got the internet symbol. Roger Telecoms has improved. Could be better though. All over the back now with Dom. You can see Marco really struggling. Not quite sure how he's holding on. Here goes Dominic now. Round the outside again, very close. Don't do what Smokey J's did. Oh, wow. Wow. Dom Smith now on the back off. Marco found a way past Alistair. Oh, he got too hungry there, Alistair. And that's the end of that for him. That's the end of his season.
Bazza in fourth.
Didn't have to stick his nose in there.
Bazza, what are you doing up here?
Just minding my own business.
Alistair didn't have to stick his nose in there. He tried to follow Dom through. He should have waited.
Well, that's one for the debrief tonight, Aidan.
Put him all the way down. But of course, when TGB2 returns, he will be on a wheel.
Next March.
It is, yeah, next March. Woo.
Right, shout out to
Come back in
TGB2
January though for Project Cars.
Thank you, thank you.
Dom will find a streamer for that. Won't you, Dom?
Of course. Of course.
Good. So Jack then leading this Grand Prix, 1.4 seconds now ahead of Dominic, ahead of Marco, and yes, then Baza. This is like our own very real life Brazil, with Sainz and Gazi all the way up there. But here comes Marco now on Dom. He's not got the battery. Marco needs to learn to turn it down. Once you get under 10%, you don't get the same output. Completely cuts the corner. Had no other option. Dominic a bit too nice there. Probably could have squeezed him. Also then 25 seconds behind Chris. What tyre did he go on? He did go on to the medium compound of tyre. So working now, that'll do. We'll go with that. Working now, he put that Alpha. Just a recovery drive now. It's got a bit of clean air though, especially if these guys are all going to keep battling. Dom is going to do the undercut on Jack here. Are you fast enough to do it, Dom?
We'll find out, won't we?
We sure will. 100% chance of it not working, powered by AWS. And here we go. Dexter up into fourth. Go, go, go from the Ferrari pit crew. So Jack then lead in this Grand Prix. Baza now putting Marco under severe pressure. Baza yet to stop in this Grand Prix. And it's on the slower tyre, bit of lad there from Baza. I don't think he actually hit Marco, but Marco is round.
I didn't hit him, he just span in front of me.
Yeah, I didn't think so. There was a bit of lad there. Smokey J's has retired from the session, not quite sure where he's lost it. Where Martin lost it in Formula 2.
Don't be a safety car. Don't fuck me about this.
Dom though did rejoin quite comfortably ahead of Alistair. Obviously Alistair did have to change the front wing, but I didn't think the gap would be that dramatic. Where can Dominic do? What can Dominic do now? Can he come out ahead of Jack? What a moment that would be. What a final race he is having. Will Jack come into the pit lane this time around? Looks to be taking it easy. That might help Dom. And Jack is coming in now. Lee Hoffner's out. No VSC or safety car. So Jack is in. And Dom is coming into the hotel. This is going to be interesting. Baza leads this Grand Prix. Obviously, he is yet to make a pit stop.
Stop the race. Stop the race now.
Here we go. So Jack now is just been given the green light to leave his pit box. Dom is coming across the start finish line. Jack heading under the tunnel. Dom Smith here is ahead. He's done it. Oh, or has he? Oh, very close.
Oh.
Very close between those two. This is for the race win, and yes, it is Dom Smith.
Ah.
That's what he done to Alistair as well, just that rear pushing the car off the circuit, but Dom has the inside. And he will have the DRS as well to out-drag him. Dom is going to take the net race lead from Jack here. And does. Dom into P2. Oh, Jack there. Ricardo-esque there. Dom is going to... Yeah, Dom's got him easily. Jack outbraked himself and Dom into P2, which is the net race lead. Dominic, when was the last time you won a race?
Thank you. Guys, pit this lap so I can have my moment. Pit this lap, you prick. Give me my moment.
He is on the mediums though. Will the
years.
softs make it?
Oh shit, Baz is going to go on the softs. He might win this.
No, Baz is on the mediums.
Yeah, but he'll pit for the softs.
He is 17 seconds ahead of Dom. Is he coming in this lap? No. So Dom's not going to get his Giovinazzi moment where he's led one lap of the Grand Prix. Alistair up into 5th though, he's recovered decently. He'll want to beat Chris Johnson. I don't think beating him on circuit, at, well, just for 4th, would be enough. Dom did have DRS. Are we going to get a fastest lap moment from him? No. 16 seconds now, the gap between Dom and Baza. So Dom on the fresh tire has a bit of pace. Chris Johnson sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, so he'll be getting that bonus point. But at the moment, Alfa Romeo are going to clinch a 4th consecutive Constructors title, and I believe it'll be 4 consecutive championships with different drivers, I believe. I don't think one driver has stayed in that car more than one season and won the Constructors. A whole new driver lineup for Alfa this year, with Jack and Alistair taking the helm. And here comes Jack now, overtake, engaged, and is now ahead of Dom. Will Dom try anything to get past that Alfa Romeo?
Oh, prick. Sneaky, very sneaky. Did the softy tactic.
Did the softy tactic. That's something me and Softy were accused of a lot during TGP1. They couldn't find any evidence that we did it. We didn't do it. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. TGP is full of controversy. People doing this, people doing that. Jordan has been passed by Marco, who's got some serious pace at this track. But mistakes have led them all the way down there. Dom 3/10 now behind Jack. I think Jack has a bit more pace than him, but it's not massive. Dom lagging about there. Baza then finally coming into the pit lane for the soft compound off tyre. Easily passed by Jack and Dom. Would you like to say something for the stream, Dom?
No, I'm lagging like fuck.
He is indeed. The mic's holding up well, but the car isn't just the transponder. The transponder, not as a friend's thing, the
I can't
transponder.
tell Jack Craig's car is, it keeps flashing. I don't know what I'm racing.
Chris has been given a penalty, so Valser can close that gap and be back in there. And Dom's let the power drip under 10%. You don't get the proper performance when it's under 10. Apparently Dom keeps gaining positions. The game can't actually figure out what the gap is. Jordan then coming into the pit lane, maybe going for fastest lap of the Grand Prix.
Oh! I think Jack Craig just lost a bit of his front wing.
Oh yes, just seen that as well.
Flew in the air.
We'll go with Chris to see if we can
flying
see
in the
some
air.
debris. I think it might have despawned for me, but Jack might have lost a bit of wing. We'll have a look on the camera. He has. He's lost a bit off the left side. It's not going to help Jack. So Dom now, crank up the pressure on him. Let's go, Dom Smith. Let's win a race.
Let's fucking do it.
Are we getting a Spain moment from F1 2014, but in the dry?
Oh god.
It's going to be a
Don't
couple
remind me of
laps to go, and Dom is going to have to find a way past to stop a clean sweep tonight from Alfa Romeo. Dom has absolutely no battery. He's going to have to save some of that. You don't want it under 10%.
I'm actually doing right at the moment, Paddy. Quite comfortable where I am.
Oh, well there you go. Dom does have the pace to win this race. Getting very close now behind Jack. I'm not sure what the level of damage is, but it looks severe on that Alpha. Jack does have 84% battery, to be fair.
Baz is joining it too on the softs.
He is indeed. Baz on those fresh softs. He's joining nicely. Alistair picking up the pace a bit, knowing that Chris has a penalty. I don't think it'll be enough to beat him in the championship. Dom getting very close now to Jack. This could be Dom's moment.
This could be Baz's moment.
It could well be Baz's moment indeed. Any penalties,
Are we safe
Baz?
from Chris, Barry?
I do have a couple here.
No.
Are we safe from Chris, Barry?
5.7 is the gap,
yeah.
so you're fine.
So,
Chris is on mediums anyway.
I might let Baz go here.
This is Dom's moment.
Yeah, I've not got. There's not enough laps for me to win this because of my penalties.
Go for it, Dominic. This is yours.
Lagging again. Fuck.
Use some rich mix if you can.
Oh,
That wall was sticking out there. Dom was almost in it. Come on, Dominic. No pressure. He's only hunting down the champion. Baz hits the
Dom,
fastest
your
lap for
car came out of nowhere then.
so he'll need that as well. Dom getting a good run through turns 2 and 3 down the hill. Don't think he's gaining enough battery through this section though to really have a pop at him down the
can't
start
see
finish
Jack his
straight.
car is. Oh.
Yeah, Jack's lagging and you're lagging on my screen. Both of you are lagging.
Vote Jack as well. Fuck.
Yeah, Jack's been
just
struggling
me.
with the internet the last couple of days. Like playing GTA,
Actually, I thought
now
it
you
was
can
just
hear it
me.
in the party. No. Like when you're playing GTA, you can hear him in the party. Here comes Baza at the inside of Dominic.
I'm not going to race you, Barry. Go. I can't afford to lose time behind you.
Takes second. So maybe now if he attacks Jack, that might allow
Go
Dominic
get Jack.
to have a bit. Maybe it might allow Dominic to
I'm
save
staying
some
back, Baz. I'm
battery.
staying back. I'm not going to go for anything. Don't defend.
Dom, try run 0 under the hotel.
Yeah.
Or 1.
Oh, his lag is awful.
Bars now all over the jack, all over the jack and back. We'll go with that. Bars are now all over him now. This is a rare moment. Jack, Baz and Dom at the front. Well, not for Jack, but it is for these two. See that barrier sticking out. I think Smokey J's was in that earlier. That's why it is like that. The Tech Pro. Jack lagging about a bit on the stream. Baza getting closer and closer. Dom's got a bit of battery now as well. That will help him if he can get within DRS. Well, sorry, stay within DRS of these two. Baza now very close to the back of Jack. I think Baz is going to wait for the DRS. It's probably the sensible thing to do. There's no point overtaking now. Just get the DRS on you and really try the pass. Dom has a lot more battery now to really attack Jack if he gets the chance.
I'm not going to fight again, Bazza. I'm not going to fight you.
Here we go.
Sitting on
Baza
that.
gaining on Jack. Jack car dancing about a bit. Baza he is going to go for it at the inside.
Can't see his car.
Can't quite do it.
On your own,
Can't
Barry.
see his car. So the lag now from Jack is getting quite bad. He pulls to the right hand side. Dom now could squeeze in the middle of these two.
Oh,
Dom
no.
round the outside. He's done it. And Baz has
Yes.
picked up
Oh.
another penalty. Jack's going to try and come back in him. Pushing him off the racetrack. But
Cheeky
Dom
fucking prick.
is going to win this Grand Prix as it stands. But can Baza now get enough of a gap? I believe he's got roughly nine
I think
seconds?
I've got 9, yeah.
Yeah, roughly 9 seconds for Baza. I do know my stuff.
Barry, give me
Sometimes.
the slipstream. Barry, give me the slipstream, please. Come
Yeah,
back.
hopefully.
Give me the DRS, Barry. Think of all the nice comments I've said to you during the year. I've always been so nice to you. I've never said you were, you know. Fuck.
Chris Johnson's out. That
Fourth.
might give Alistair second in the champion. No, third in the championship because Jordan is still scoring. Jack looked like he was going straight into a wall there. That lag really is horrendous. Baza now pulling a bit of a gap to Dom, so Dom was begging him not to pull away. Dom has a bit of battery that will help him just that tad. Get a good exit. And you're
Any
looking
penalties at all, Dom?
No, none.
Wow.
I don't think Jack has any either.
No, P3 then.
This is a straight fight. Here he comes. Got defensive Dom. Too late. And Jack moving into second. Dom's going to hold on though.
I can't see his car. It's just he keeps ghosted. I can't. I don't know what I'm trying to just avoid to. Oh, I don't know. Fuck.
Here he goes. Round the outside. Dom is opting for. Later on the
Can't
brakes. Dom right round the outside. Wow.
I can't see his fucking thing. Oh. Turn in. Don't turn in, you fucking idiot! Oh.
Dom, that's not good for him.
Forward.
Alistair now might get Dom for the podium here. Alistair needs this for the championship if he wants to gain some positions in it. We're about to start the final lap of the Grand Prix. Can Alistair get on the podium after really taking himself out under the hotel? Closest battle on track at the moment. 82% battery for Alistair, 18 for Dominic. So Alistair has absolutely everything available. Run hot lap. You don't need all that battery on the final lap. It's one thing I can't get into Alistair's head. You don't need all the battery. Turn it up. Go for it. Paz has a 5-second gap to Jack. It's not enough. Here we go. I think this is Alistair now about to clinch a podium from Dominic. He's gaining and gaining on the Ferrari. Bit of lad there from Dom. But Alistair into P3 and now ahead off the Scuderia Ferrari driver. Will Dom come back at him though? He's got the DRS, he hasn't got the battery, the fuel light is flickering away as well. Dom trying everything to get that podium, only got one this season and it's at Monza. Can't quite do it, and I believe that's going to be it then for Alistair. I don't think he'll get second in the championship, he might get third.
Yeah, he'll get second, I think. He's got it second secured.
Jordan is
Unless,
sixth though.
Jordan is.
Jordan P6. So that's something we'll have to take into account, but we will get a Dom Smith insight. Jack's got a 3-second time penalty.
Oh.
Baza? Oh, he's missed it by a tenth!
Damn!
Baza wins.
No, he's missed it by a tenth.
Has he?
Tenth of a second. Jack picked up a penalty in the final corner. Alistair gets the podium. Dom is fourth. We will get Dom Smith insight to round up the season. Jordan gets a penalty as well, so if he drops behind Marco, that might actually help Alistair. But Alfa Romeo are the Constructors' champions for the 4th season running. Fantastic job from those guys. They seem to be hiring the right drivers. But Alistair then contact with Marco early on, no front wing, have to pit. He'll take P3, decent recovery from him. Decent recovery indeed. Baza missing out by a tenth of a second. Fantastic racing this season from TGB2. As we now see the podium. For the final time this season, it's an Alpha 1-3. And will we, for the final time, get one more Dom Smith insight?
Well, I'll do it. Try and quickly for you, but Jack Craig has won the title quite comfortably. He beats Jordan by about 50 points in the end. But Alistair, did he do enough to catch Jordan? He had to outscore Jordan by 8 points. He didn't get fastest lap either. But Alistair will miss out on second place in the championship by 1 point, I believe. 1 point.
So also getting third then. A decent recovery this season from Alfa Romeo. It was an absolute horrendous start to the season. It was a chaotic start to the season for absolutely everyone. But McLaren had a fantastic start, and it's just not been their season. Jack then is the TGP2 champion. Jordan is the runner-up, and Alistair is rounding out the top three in third place, missing it by 1 point. Alfa Romeo Constructors champions for the fourth season in a row. What will the driver lineups look like in March when we return for TGP2? And hopefully I'll still be here streaming it. So that has been TGP2, and we will see you in March.